Hey guys, and welcome back to another one of my videos. Today I have a little bit different video for you guys. Today we're going to be taking a look at my dream car, and because I'm not able to actually review the car in real life, we're going to do it in vrchat. So without further ado, let's get into it. Behind me is a 1981 DeLorean. The car is very cool, and you might recognize it from the movie Back to the Future. It is a very popular movie, and they used this car. They did do a lot of customization to it. However, you can see that overall the body is still there. The car has a very old but futuristic-y kind of look, so I can see why the producers went for this car. It has an overall unique body shape, and it just looks great. But out of all the cars out there, why did I go for this one? Besides the fact that the car looks amazing and just overall unique, the best part about it is this. The doors actually open into basically this butterfly effect, and it is amazing. It is very unique, and you don't see a lot of that in today's world. My favorite part about the doors, other than them opening like this, has to be that the sound they make each time you open them.
Opening the lid reveals a very modest 4 cubic feet.
I just think I would do this constantly if I owned the actual car. And I also think the frunk and the trunk also do the same thing. However, of course, that isn't the only reason why I picked this car. Besides the car having butterfly wings, or Lambo wings, how you want to call them, there's a specific reason why I like the DeLorean. Number one being, I really love old cars. I'm a huge sucker for really old cars, and DeLorean is right around that era where the cars are getting futuristic-y, but also still old. And that is why I really love it. As well as it looks unique. I mean, you cannot say that you wouldn't turn your head if you saw this car. It's just the overall body shape, and in general it looks really good. Of course, we all know the version that they used in the Back to the Future movie with all the cool futuristic-y parts on it, with all the details, and you might be asking, why didn't I go for that one? Well, there's actually two reasons why I wouldn't personally want to own something like that. Number one, it is a little bit too attention-grabbing. I would be too scared that people would start to just rip parts away from, and if I just parked it somewhere overnight, let's say, I have a feeling that some people would get curious and they would just start stealing parts from it. There's actually a funny story where an actual replica that was used in the movie was placed in the park. However, people started shipping away parts and taking small parts from it as a kind of souvenir, so that the people actually had to put a cage over it so that people couldn't stop stealing the parts. And after hearing that story, I kind of lost trust at owning something like that in real life. On top of that, it would be double expensive and so time consuming to actually make it that I would actually be scared to ride that car. It's more of kind of like a art piece that you just kind of take to a few car meets every now and then, but you usually keep it in the garage and you don't drive it at all. But where's the fun in that? There are cool other factors about the car if you haven't known. For example, it has a frunk. What is a frunk? Well, it's basically if you combine the trunk and the front, or basically the car engine is supposed to be. However, it is not like that on this car. On this car, you get a frunk, which basically has a little bit of space where you can put in your, let's say, groceries, or if you're going somewhere, you can put suitcases.
Opening the lid reveals a very modest 4 cubic feet in a shallow but wide storage compartment, plenty for just a few pieces of baggage. There's also some carpeted portions located down below, as well as up top with some illumination.
There's not that much space, but to be honest, I would say it's pretty decent for what you get. Now, I probably already assumed that you know where the engine is. The engine itself is actually at the back of the car, which is kind of interesting because when you use your rear view mirror, I think that your vision is actually kind of obstructed, but not that much, and to be honest, it's pretty worth it because it just kind of adds to the style of the car. I would say that all the engines at the back of the car kind of makes more sense to me because all the heavy stuff and all the stuff that basically makes the car go actually makes more sense to me if it sits on the back side rather than the front side. But I don't know, you let me know if you find this cool or not. as I stated, this is my dream car, which means that it is quite pricey, to be honest. Depending on where you live, I looked at the prices, and you can find anything between $40,000 to $60,000. However, even if you get the car in the most pristine kind of condition, you would still have to replace the engine, considering that yes, this car can only go to 100 miles an hour, which why is we had the movie. So in today's world, that's not really practical. So you would have to get a way better engine and then slap it in there, which is just a little bit extra money on top of that. Because unlike the exterior, I actually find it very nice and I wouldn't change anything about it. But the interior just seems kind of too bland, so I would maybe put in maybe better speakers or some lights for ambient lighting, maybe even change the dash or of course upgrade the radio. And I've seen a few people do this actually. It doesn't make it look too different, so it still keeps its overall vibe. So after taking a look at it from the outside, let's actually take a look at how it looks like on the inside. So in the actual interior, there's not much to write home about. You have your standard typical shifter, you have your radio, all the cooling system, which is actually cool because I didn't know that there was actually cooling in the doors as well, which looks kind of cool. You have your just basic commands on the dash and as well as a cigarette area, but I think if I had this car, I would replace that with something else considering that I don't smoke. So I can definitely see a lot of customization being done from the inside of the car. As well as the back area, I feel like you can put some speakers there or maybe even some extra luggage if you have it. But I think when it comes to the customization of the overall interior of the car, you can do some pretty crazy stuff. And I didn't see people change that much, but knowing me, I 100% would. The sad thing about the DeLorean is that I think actually eventually if I get to the point where I can actually purchase the car for myself, I'm scared that it's going to go kind of extinct, to say it like that, and that the price is just gonna continue to grow and grow and grow. I'm not really a fan of all the futuristic cars, like basically automatic and electric. I really love the old cars, and out of every single one, the DeLorean has to be the best car ever made. I'm not much of a car person, so I could really fit in much detailed about the car, like its performance and over the years how it works, but there's plenty of videos out there with people who actually know what they're doing and who actually own the car. So I advise you checking out those videos, as this video is just kind of like a geek where I review my car, but just virtually. And who knows, maybe one day I'll get to review it for real. But anyway, that was pretty much it, my review of my dream car, the DeLorean. I really hope you guys enjoyed, and do let me know what you think of this concept. Did you find it interesting or did you just find it hilarious? Before I end the video, I would like to thank all these special friends that helped me make this video possible. Thank you guys so much for helping me with the model. I really appreciate it, with both Blender and Unity side of things. I really appreciate you. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Click here if you want to check out some of the other content that I made, and click here if you want to stick with the channel and keep up with all the videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.